Hey guys, what is up? My name is Landon and welcome to the Jersey Zone. So today I wanted to do a tier list of all the reverse retros that came out yesterday. I've got some sleep, which I think is important to get some fresh new eyes on these jerseys here. Now before we do get into the tier list, if you guys are new to the channel and you like hockey jersey content, please make sure to hit subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I am trying to go for 1,000 subs before the end of the year and I've gotten a ton of support from you guys the past few days, so I really appreciate it. But let's go ahead and let's get into the tier list. Okay, so let's start in alphabetical order, starting off with the Anaheim Ducks. I really like these jerseys for the Ducks. I think they look very, very nice in these colors, especially the logo itself. I think it looks fantastic. And I think this jersey has the best color of all of the reverse retros. I think that black going into the orange just looks really nice, especially with that NHL logo as well. So for me, this jersey is going to go into the A tier. I think it's a very nice looking jersey. Next, we have the Arizona Coyotes, and my opinion on this jersey has not changed. I think this is probably the best reverse retro, even counting that 1.0 series as well. It is just absolutely fantastic. I really, really do like it a lot. And I think this jersey paired with a first reverse retro is going to look fantastic. So I'm very, very excited to get this jersey in my collection. Moving along, we have the Boston Bruins. I'm very, very happy that they brought back the Pooh Bear because I absolutely love that jersey. It's one of my favorite Boston jerseys just because that logo is so goofy. But I'm very glad that they really didn't change a whole lot with this jersey other than just swapping the yellow and the white, of course, because I was kind of afraid that they would change the striping on this jersey just because it's so weird. But it's also extremely unique, and that's what I like about it. So I very much enjoy this jersey. This one is also going to go into the A tier, just behind that Anaheim one. Next up, we have the Buffalo Sabres, and I'll be honest, I'm not in love with these jerseys. I obviously love the goat head jersey. I think it's fantastic, and I don't mind them in these colors, although I do prefer it in its original colors. But looking at this jersey right now, it just feels a little bit too bland, with the white being the main color of the jersey, which is something that I saw someone touch on yesterday talking about this jersey, where Buffalo does keep going back to white jerseys for their alternate jerseys and like specialty jerseys. But with this jersey in particular, it does feel a little bit bland, I would say. I know they do have some shoulder patches up top, but especially up top, it does feel very, very boring, at least in my eyes. The original jersey did have some shoulder yoke up top, so I think honestly that would have helped a ton if they just implemented that. So I don't love these things, although I still think they look very, very nice. So I am still going to put them into the A tier, but it's going to be at the very bottom of the A tier, I would say. Next up, we have the Calgary Flames here, and I almost very, very much like these jerseys. However, like I talked about yesterday, the seam on the jersey itself just really ruins it for me. I just can't keep my eyes off of it. It just completely distracts me from everything else on the jersey, and it just is very upsetting because I almost just absolutely adore this thing. If that seam was not there, this would probably be at the top of A tier or even the S tier. Like, I very much like everything else about the jersey itself, but with that seam, it just distracts me so much. So for me, I'm going to put it into the B tier. Now we have the Carolina Hurricanes, and this jersey is a complete miss for me. It's not even really a reverse retro because it's literally just their current away jersey just swapped, so it just feels like a home jersey. And I don't even really like their current away jersey, so it's just a complete miss for me. I'm putting this one into the F tier. And then with the Chicago Blackhawks, this one I'm also not a huge fan of. I don't like that word mark, like I usually don't like word marks. And like I talked about yesterday, the striping is just a little bit too chaotic for myself, so I don't like that aspect either. Now I am going to put this into the F tier. Not quite too sure if I want to put it behind or in front of that Canes jersey. I think I am going to put it behind the Canes jersey. I do think it is just a little bit worse. All right, the next one that we have is the Colorado Avalanche. I very much like this jersey a lot. I love that logo for the Colorado Avalanche, that old school Rockies logo that they've used in the past with that Stadium Series jersey, just a little bit simplified. And then I like how they basically took their striping on their away jersey and then just made it into the Colorado Rockies colors, although the blue is a little bit darker than the Rockies colors, but I still think that's what they were going for anyways. I very, very much like it a lot. I don't think it quite reaches that S tier for me, but I am going to put it at the top of the A tier. I think it's great. The next team that we have is the Columbus Blue Jackets. For me, I'm still just not quite too sure how much I really like this jersey. Going from yesterday to today hasn't really changed too much. I do like that kind of light blue there. I think it is a ton of fun. So for me right now, I think I'm going to put it into the B tier behind that Calgary jersey. I do think maybe in like a few weeks or something like that, it might pop into the A tier, but for right now, it's going into the B. Next up, we have the Dallas Stars, and I do really want to like this jersey, but for some reason, I'm just not a massive fan of it. I'm not quite too sure why, because I do like pretty much every aspect of the jersey. I like the striping down the sleeves there, striping at the bottom. The logo itself looks very nice. It kind of has that silver sparkle to it as well. I said yesterday that I thought I would like the white outline of the striping to be like silver or something like that, but honestly, looking at it now, I don't think it would look that great, to be completely honest. So even though I do pretty much like every aspect of the jersey, I even like the black as the main color of the jersey itself. I'm really not quite too sure what it is, but for me, I am going to put it at the top of the B tier. I want to like it more, but for some reason, just can't. The next team that we have is the Detroit Red Wings. So I saw a lot of people compare this jersey to the Chicago jersey yesterday, and obviously it does make a lot of sense. It is a word mark jersey, it's a red jersey with black striping, and there's a lot of striping to it as well, so I do kind of understand the comparisons, but for me, I much prefer this Red Wings jersey over that Chicago one. I still don't think this jersey is great, and I think I would have preferred white striping over the black striping, but honestly, this jersey has grown on me a little bit overnight. I do like it more than I did yesterday, that is for sure. However, for me, it is still going to go into the C tier. I still don't overly like it, but I definitely like it a lot more than that Chicago one. Now we have the Edmonton Oilers with the oil drop jersey. This jersey has definitely grown on me, especially when the leaks first came out as well. I was really not a huge fan of the logo itself having that orange in it, but I really like it, and I really like the other orange accents to the jersey itself in the striping and the numbers as well, and in the shoulder patches. So for me, this jersey is going to go into the A tier. It's going to go right ahead of that Buffalo and right behind the Boston one. I think it's a very nice looking jersey. Next up, we have the Florida Panthers. This is another jersey where I do think it's going to grow on me over time. I like it more than I did yesterday, that is for sure, because I do love the powdered blue. I liked it yesterday as well, but my sticking point was kind of the red and yellow striping. I wasn't a huge fan of it. I thought it clashed a little bit too much, but looking at it now, I definitely prefer it more than I did yesterday, so I think in a few more days, I'm going to really like this jersey a lot. And with that logo yesterday, I said I wasn't a huge fan of it being the main logo of the jersey, and that I preferred it on the shoulder patches, but looking at it today, I actually do like it, so that part has also grown on me a decent amount. So overall for me, I am going to put this into probably, I think I'm going to put it at the top of the B tier there. It's very close to that A tier though, like probably in a few days, I think it'll squeak into there. Next up, we have the LA Kings, and once again, they did a fantastic job with the reverse retro. I think this jersey is amazing. I love the Kings in these colors here, and I really want them to bring it back as the main colors for their jerseys. And I also really like the striping on this jersey. I've always kind of liked that striping, and that logo is one of my favorite logos for the LA Kings. It's probably my second or third favorite, I would say, so I very much enjoy this jersey. It's going to go into the S tier, no question about it, although it doesn't quite beat out that Arizona jersey. Now we're on to the Minnesota Wild, and I said this yesterday, I really thought this jersey would grow on me like the first Minnesota reverse retro did, but honestly, it really hasn't a whole lot. Even though I do like the logo in those colors, I also like the yellow striping underneath that kind of white shoulder yoke, so I can't quite pinpoint my reason on why I'm not a huge fan of this jersey, but honestly, I'm just not, so I'm putting it right into the middle of the B tier. The next team that we have is the Montreal Canadiens, who did an Expos inspired jersey, and like I said yesterday, I've never been a fan of baseball, so this jersey just doesn't really do it for me. Looking at this jersey just as the jersey itself though, I do like that powder blue, but I just don't think I like it for the Canadiens, to be completely honest. It definitely does make the logo stand out quite a bit, but for some reason, it just really doesn't do anything for me at all. So this might be a little bit controversial, but I'm putting this jersey into the C tier. And now we have the Nashville Predators, and there's just a couple of very small things about this jersey that make me not like this jersey as much as I could. The first one being the color itself. I actually don't mind the yellow on this jersey, however, I do much prefer the yellow on the original jersey. I also don't like the Nashville kind of text there being its own patch. I think that stands out just a little bit too much. And this jersey isn't really that much of a reverse retro. It's more just a retro throwback jersey. There's nothing really reverse about it, so it also loses a little bit of points there. So even though it is very similar to the original jersey, I don't love it quite as much. So for me, I am going to put it into the B tier, just right behind that Stars and ahead of the Wild jersey. Next up, we have the New Jersey Devils. Now, I actually had some information wrong on yesterday's video talking about this jersey. I said it was a throwback to the Kansas City Scouts. It's actually not. It's going back to the Colorado Rockies. I was actually corrected by someone in my TikTok comments about this. I guess I kind of just assumed it was the Kansas City Scouts because those are the colors of the Scouts, and that's what all the rumors had them going back to, is the Scouts jerseys. So I didn't even bother to kind of look it up and confirm that information. So it is actually a throwback to the Colorado Rockies, but either way, I do think this actually is a very nice looking jersey. I like it a lot more than I thought I would. I usually don't like the Rockies and the Scouts colors. I think they clash a little bit too much, but honestly, with the Devils in those colors and with that striping as well, I actually think it looks fairly nice. So for me, I'm going to put this into the A tier there, right behind the Edmonton jersey. And now we have the New York Islanders, and I have not been very nice to this jersey, I will say. I've kind of expressed my disappointment in this jersey quite a bit, but I think some people have misconstrued my disappointment with the jersey, with me not liking it. I don't think it is an overly bad jersey. I'm just quite disappointed that they removed the teal and the white pattern and the lighthouse shoulder patches. Those were the parts that really made the jersey for myself. But with the removal of all of those, it definitely makes the jersey a lot less fun. However, I still think it is a fine looking jersey. I think if I never saw the original Fisherman jersey, I would like this jersey a decent amount. I actually do like the striping on it. I'm still not a huge fan of the logo in this colorization though. I don't think it looks fantastic. So I do think it is a fine looking jersey. It was just extremely disappointing is all it was. So I'm still going to put it into the C tier though because of my disappointment, but I'll put it at the top of the C tier. And now we have the New York Rangers, who in my opinion just did a better version of their previous reverse retro. I like this royal blue a little bit more than the navy, and I also like the fact that they have red on the cuff of the sleeves there instead of just going back to like that royal blue or like the navy blue like they did on the last jersey. So I'm happy that they did make those changes to it. I think it is a very nice looking jersey. I obviously love the Lady Liberty logo, and even though I still prefer the original jerseys over this one, I still think it looks fantastic. I'm putting it into the top of the A tier. I think I'll put it right ahead of that Boston jersey. Moving along, we have the Ottawa Senators here. This one was quite a disappointment to me, I will say, just because they moved the Scooby-Doo logo basically to the shoulders instead of having it the main logo of the jersey itself, and also instead of having a different color in the middle of that striping there, they just have it the black like the rest of the jersey. So I really don't like those two aspects of this jersey, although I do like the striping on the sleeves, and I like the pattern of the striping in the middle. Like I said, just without that different color in the middle of the striping though, I'm just not really a huge fan of it. It just feels slightly bland in my opinion, so I'm going to put this jersey into the C tier. I'll put it right ahead of that Detroit one. Next up, we have the Philadelphia Flyers, and this is the most mid-tier jersey for myself. There's nothing really special about it. I like the striping a little bit, but that's kind of about it. But there's also nothing that I really dislike about this jersey either. It's just kind of alright. So for me, this jersey is going to go right into the back of the B tier there. Moving along, we have the Pittsburgh Penguins, and when I talked about this jersey yesterday, I think I was just like fairly alright on it. I did think it was a nice looking jersey, but that was kind of where I left it. But looking at this jersey today and comparing it to its original jersey as well, I love this thing. Like, it has grown on me a ton overnight for sure. I think this jersey in black looks fantastic. I love that striping for this jersey. And of course, I love the RoboPen logo as well. So for me, this one is going to go into the A tier. And I think I'll put it right behind the Colorado one and right ahead of the Anaheim one. This one is fantastic in my eyes. The next team we have is the San Jose Sharks. I've seen a lot of mixed opinions on this jersey. There's people doing tier lists in that hockey jersey Discord, and a lot of people had it at the top of their tier list. A lot of people had it at the bottom. So a wide range of opinions there. For me personally, it's definitely on the higher side of my tier list. And even though I do wish the main color of the jersey was the teal instead of the white, I just can't stay mad at this thing. I think it's just so fun. So for me, I am going to put it into the S tier there, just right behind that Kings jersey. And then moving along, we have the Seattle Kraken here. And for me, this jersey has kind of fallen down a little bit in my rankings. Yesterday, I really wanted to like it, but looking at it today, I'm still just not a huge fan of it. And it really just comes down to the fact of the logo placing in the striping, how the top half goes over it and the bottom half doesn't. It just feels very off to me. I really don't like it. And that is a little bit of a strange thing considering the next jersey coming up. But for me, with this one here, I just don't think it quite works. And I do think the striping is a little bit too much. It's a little bit chaotic as well. So unfortunately for me, this jersey is going to go into the C tier. It's going to go right behind that Ottawa jersey there. And now we have the St. Louis Blues. And even though I don't like that Kraken jersey because of the symmetry on the logo itself, this one isn't really symmetrical either. But honestly, I kind of like it this way. Kind of like I said yesterday, I should not like this jersey because I don't really like yellow jerseys most of the time. I don't like word mark jerseys, and it's not a symmetrical logo either. But honestly, this thing just works for me. I just think the blue and yellow look really nice together, and I love all of the striping as well. So even though it seems like I shouldn't like this jersey, I definitely do, and I'm going to put it into the A tier right behind that Penguins jersey. I just think this jersey is a ton of fun. And speaking of fun, we have the Tampa Bay Lightning Storm jersey here, and I'm very happy that they are going back to this jersey. However, I'm still not a fan of the white parts of this jersey. I do wish that they kind of just made the rest of the jersey gray, kind of like those shoulders up top. I think if they made it that lighter gray or even a darker gray, I think it would have looked a lot nicer than the white for the jersey itself. But honestly, I still love the thing. Like, it's hard not to like this jersey, at least for myself. I just think it's so fun. So for me, this one is easily going into the S tier, right behind that Kings jersey. And now we have the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, I'm actually quite shocked how many people aren't really a huge fan of it. I've seen a lot of Leaf fans actually really like the jersey itself, but outside of the Leaf fans, I don't think too many people actually do like this jersey, which kind of shocks me. For me, I really like it a lot. I think the striping and that shoulder yoke just look fantastic with this jersey, and I really like that logo itself. It feels kind of cartoonish, but I like it. And then something that I didn't notice yesterday is that inside of the collar, it kind of has that faux sweater type collar to it, although it is slightly ruined by like the top of the collar, but like basically this middle part of the collar there, that kind of has that faux sweater type collar to it, which I really like. So for me, this one is also going to go into the A tier. I think I'll put it right behind that Blues jersey and just right ahead of that Ducks one. And now we have the Vancouver Canucks jersey, and I will say I'm still not a huge fan of the numbers on the front of the jersey there. I just don't think it looks very good. I've never really liked when teams have done that in the past, to be completely honest. But other than that, the rest of the jersey is fairly fine. However, I do prefer the other Johnny Canuck jerseys, like the Abbotsford Canucks, those ones there. I like those a little bit more than this one here. So for me, this one is going to go into the B tier, probably at the bottom of it, to be completely honest. But I think that's more of a compliment to the other jerseys than me disliking this one. Next team up is the Vegas Golden Knights, and I kind of feel like my hands are tied on this jersey. Looking at the jersey just itself, I think is fine. I don't mind the word mark when I usually don't like word marks. I think it's the stylization of the font itself. I think that looks fine. I do like the striping on the jersey itself, and I like the customization kit. I think that's very neat. But honestly, my hands are tied because this jersey glows in the dark. So since it glows in the dark and that's just like so unique, I have to put this jersey into the S tier. It's just not really fair. If it didn't glow in the dark, honestly, it would probably sit somewhere in like the top half of the B tier, maybe even squeezing into the bottom half of the A tier. But with the fact that it glows in the dark, it shoots it up the list in my opinion. I just think that's so cool. The second last team that we have is the Washington Capitals, and this jersey is just gorgeous, man. I really like it a lot. It makes me realize how much I miss the Capitals in these colors here, because I think that bronze and the light blue with the black just look fantastic. Like, it just looks so great, and it even looks like that bronze might have a sparkle to it, which would be fantastic as well. So for me, this one is going to go into probably, I think I'm going to put it into the S tier, and I think I'll put it right ahead of that Vegas jersey. I think it just squeezes it out just a little bit. And then the last team up is the Winnipeg Jets, and this is a nice looking jersey for the Jets. I love the color scheme for this jersey here, and I also really like that logo a lot. There's really nothing wrong with this jersey, I would say. I have like pretty much zero complaints about this jersey, other than I don't like the customization kit, but that aside, I think just the jersey itself looks really, really nice, I would say. So for me, unfortunately, I'm putting another jersey into the A tier. I'm going to put it right ahead of that Edmonton jersey and right behind the Pooh Bear. Okay, so here is my list. I don't think I need to make any last minute adjustments. Actually, I guess the only thing that I'll do is put Detroit into the D tier, just so it's a little bit even. There's something into the D tier. Looks a little bit nicer that way. But other than that, this is my list. So as you guys can see, I very much love these reverse retros. But that was my tier list. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Tomorrow, I am probably going to look at the 1.0 reverse retros and the 2.0, compare the two, see which ones I like best. So if that interests you guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you like the video itself, make sure to like it as well. Also, don't forget to follow me on my Instagram, my Twitter, and my TikTok. Links are all in the description down below. But like I said, that is it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.